Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Let's talk about Chase personal loans because a lot of people may not be aware that Chase does offer a personal actually, as a matter of fact, it's two types of personal loans. Okay. Now, please understand that with these personal loans that Chase offer, it's not a direct personal loan. Okay. That's number one. However, I'm going to tell you the cheat code to finding out how to get the best leverage on a personal loan from Chase. All right. So here's the thing about it. With Chase, with their personal loans, long as you have a relationship with them, okay? And you can have bad credit and there's not even an application, all right? You just have to be banking with Chase, all right? And so by you banking with Chase, they give you two opportunities, right? All right. The first one is with the buy now, pay later. Okay. So many of you all are familiar with may be familiar with Chase buy now, pay later. So basically that's not your cash loan. They do have a cash loan. Let me explain to you about the buy now, pay later. All right. So you can get that long as you're banking with Chase. Okay. And you have a debit card with Chase and they will do no credit check and no application. All right. Now, here's the thing about it that I continue to tell you all about the buy now, pay later is that with the buy now, pay later type of loans, all right, whatever you qualify for, like when you're purchasing a product or a service or something using Chase buy now, pay later or whatever, and it reports on the personal credit file, then that's going to increase your credit utilization. Okay, that's on the buy now, pay later. All right, and I got a hack to actually show you the best way to pay down the buy now, pay later so you can lower your debt to income ratio and your credit utilization in a minute. All right, so that's the first one. The second loan is the My Chase loan. All right, and so here's where things get interesting because with the My Chase loan, what they're doing is allowing you to take the balance from your credit card and deposit it into your checking account like a loan. Now, there's some benefits to this. Here's the benefit, all right? Instead of using your credit card, right, with the higher interest rate, you get a lower interest rate transferring the balance from your credit card over into your checking account. All right, because now it's acting like an installment loan. So your interest rates is definitely going to be much lower. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. You have to have had your credit card for at least 180 days. And like I told you, I'm going to share with you the best credit cards that I would actually go for. All right. Now, the lower interest rates is where it benefits you. Okay. Again, because you're getting access to real cash, all right? And so it's treated like an installment loan. So that's your leverage there. Now, there's no application. There's no credit check, all right? So that's the reason why, like if you have this credit card, if your credit score doesn't tank, but you still have this active credit card, you can transfer the balance of that credit card over to your checking account, okay? Because they're not going to do a hard pull on the credit. So this is a benefit to you as well. All right. Now, some of the best credit cards I would tell you to get, okay, when it comes to Chase. If you're starting not with Chase, then you're looking at the student credit card and then you're looking at the Freedom Rise credit card. And now here's the thing about it, the kickback about this, and because there's some better credit cards that I'm going to jump to in a minute. But the kickback about Chase, okay, make sure that you do not have a 524. Now, for those of you that do not understand the 524, that means you have applied for 5 open revolving accounts, okay, within the past 24 months, okay? This is what you will get disqualified for, all right? But this here talking about the loans, you have to have already had a credit card in your possession. Now, if you already had a credit card in your possession and you are at a 524, it does not matter, right? Because you already have that credit card. And like I said, long as you have that credit card for at least 180 days, you're able to transfer that balance automatically, whether you have good credit or personal credit, and that'll lower your interest rate on your credit card. And that way you can use that cash capital however you see. You know, some people like to do day trading or whatever. You can do it whatever you want to with the money from that standpoint. All right. Now, some of Chase better credit cards to actually leverage this, and this is one of the things that I was thinking about. You have the Chase Freedom Unlimited, okay? So that gives you 15 months of 0% interest. Now, how I would play this, I would use the Chase Freedom Unlimited 15 months on purchases and balance transfer. I would use it all the way up to that 15 months, okay? Then when I pay that back, then I'll transfer the balance over to an installment loan. So you will have a lower interest rate. So instead of you paying double-digit interest rate, you'll have a lower interest rate because it's an installment loan at that time. All right. Now you can actually possibly get 2 trade lines out of it because the credit card is reporting, then that loan is reporting. But remember, like I said, you can have bad credit. And as long as you have that card, you can actually do this. All right. Then the next credit card, you may qualify as for the Slate Edge. Okay. The Chase Slate Edge card. The reason is because that credit card gives you 18 months. And it's the same play like the Chase Freedom. I would use the zero balance purchase and transfer for that 18 months. Then when I pay it back after that 18 months is up, transfer it over to a loan. All right. That way you're not paying all this interest on these credit cards. All right. Then you have the Chase Freedom Flex. It gives you 15 months. Okay. And doing the same process. Now, going back to that buy now, pay later, like I told you guys, here's the play that I would do. All right. I would look for a loan, okay, that does not report on a personal credit, okay? And so with that loan that does not report on a personal credit, I would take that money and I would pay down all my buy now, pay laters. This is one of the biggest things that's happening for a lot of people, and their credit scores tanking because with the buy now, pay later loans, they used to not report on the credit file, but now they started reporting on your Experian credit file. So being able to get a loan from like Big Buck Loans or Rise Credit or something like that, taking that money, and they usually give up to $5,000, right? And taking that money and paying down those buy now, pay later, all right, because they're not reporting on the credit file, that's going to shoot your credit score up. And again, because of that, by that shooting your credit score up, guess what I would do? I would go back to Chase and the credit cards, I would get a request for a credit limit increase. Okay, once those buy now, pay later loans is paid down, I would go back to Chase, and on these credit cards, I would do a credit limit increase and then transfer that money over to an installment loan to leverage that. All right. And then you can use that money to pay down other open revolving debt as well. So you using their money, leveraging their money to pay down other debt, right? So that's how you actually get the personal loan, even if you have bad credit. And the thing about it, like I said, you can have multiple accounts. It's not going to affect you because these here are credit cards that's in your possession for at least 180 days. As long as they've been in your possession for at least 180 days, you can actually leverage those as loans. All right. So I hope this helped you. If you have any question about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.